Are you all ready? All right, let's start. I am not an advocate for frequent changes in laws and constitutions. But laws and institutions must go hand in hand with the progress of the human mind. As that becomes more developed, more enlightened, as new discoveries are made, new truths discovered, and manners and opinions change, with the change of circumstances, institutions must advance also to keep pace with the times. We might as well require a man to wear still the coat which fitted him when a boy, as civilized society to remain ever under the regimen of their barbarous ancestors. This is a quote from Thomas Jefferson. These words were written by Jefferson in a letter dated July 12, 1816, and are chiseled in the stone of the memorial that bears his name in our nation's capital. They are a reminder that a democratic society is an ever-evolving thing, and that we are obliged to question the status quo and put forth new ideas, new priorities, and new institutions to replace those of our ancestors, especially the barbarous ones. In our time, the boy's coat of outdated economic theories and policies designed for a young, growing economy no longer fits. An economy focused on growth at all costs and a guiding philosophy that a rising tide will lift all boats is a coat that is now out of fashion. A winner-takes-all society, the disenfranchised and the future be damned, is a boy's coat of our greedy adolescence that has finally grown uncomfortable. This afternoon is not a protest, not a strike, not an act of civil disobedience. This is the beginning of a teach-in the tradition of the teach-ins that swept the nation's colleges and universities in 1965 in reaction to our nation's entry into the Vietnam War. Today is in the tradition of those times in our nation's history when we questioned the status quo and insisted that institutions advance to keep pace with the times, in the words of Jefferson. We sit today at the great University of Vermont, the 5th oldest university in our nation, an institution where discoveries are made, new truths are discovered, and where we have the obligation to not just describe problems, but to propose and advocate for solutions. We are a community of students, teachers, practitioners, and citizens of the world that bring together ideas and idealism in the name of progress. But this time around, the very definition of progress is under fire. Is progress that rising tide that lifts all boats? Is progress a growing economy that privatizes the benefits and socializes the costs? Are we a mature, resilient, caring society, or are we still trying to squeeze into the boy's coat of greed is good and the planet is infinite? These are the questions that frame what many of us call an ecological economics, an economics for shared prosperity in a finite planet. This social movement of our time that started with Occupy Wall Street and is being answered with hundreds of Occupy events and similar teach-ins across the world must lead to a new economics that redefines our economy's relationship to the environment, to society, and ultimately to the next generation that will overturn the ideas of their barbarous ancestors. And so we welcome you to the teach-in. My name is Jon Erickson. I'm a professor and managing director of the Jon D Institute for Ecological Economics. I'm going to serve as the moderator of this event and in general the timekeeper to keep us on track. The group before you has prepared a series of 5-minute teaching points, each defining a problem and proposing a solution inspired by the grievances put forth by Occupy Wall Street.